Yeah, I have a question.
Mhm.
So I'm wondering how have you seen changes during COVID, or like have there been lapses in the services that children are due to receive, and how are they being received, or are they are they receiving their services, and what can we do to I don't know kind of keep that going for them?
Well, I would have to say again, it really depends on where you are. Even in the state that I work in, there's different models going on throughout, even across like a jurisdiction line. So there are some local school systems that have for students with an IEP, they actually come into school. They might come in 3 days a week or 5 days, or 4 days a week, and have one day for what they call asynchronous learning. And that's usually where the curriculum or the activity, they're actually uploaded to most likely Schoolology or a different virtual platform. And there might be a videotaped instruction of how to access those activities or complete those activities. But the families are sending their children to schools with masks, and the teachers and administrators are just administering, um, um, delivering education and services how they would typically do, just according to COVID protocol. And then you have the virtual service delivery where it's pretty much similar to this. So what's happening with a lot of the students with IEPs, I will say that a lot of that is a lot more collaborative between teachers, special education teachers, or teachers and the related service providers, such like occupational therapists. They might co-lead a section virtually, and then they'll have a breakout group where the occupational therapist and the parent and child are actually together doing the completing the actual therapy service, or they'll have a small group with a paraeducator, the occupational therapist, and a child or two actually completing their services through the virtual model.
I have a question, Sharice.
Mhm.
I was wondering if you could talk a little bit about, so my nephew, who's 3.5, almost 4, just got diagnosed with autism. And I was wondering if you could talk about how family members can support families who are kind of, trying to go through this, experience it. It's obviously, I mean, this was literally just a couple weeks ago. So it would be helpful to hear, what supporters and allies and family members can do to try and either help both the kid and the parents as people adjust and go through this.
I would probably say what we would say to just any other provider is actually ask the family what they need. Every family has different needs, and I think the best thing you can do is just really listen to them and ask what's the best way you can support them. It could be just something as simple as just allowing like the family to just talk to you, allowing the parents just to have a conversation with you. I think when families might learn something like that, it might be overwhelming. It's a lot of information I know as a provider, it's a lot of information to give someone. It just seems like you're downloading just tons of information because there's a lot of paperwork too. So it's just sometimes you just need time to process and really kind of talk things through. So I think that's the number one thing I would say. Just ask them what they need and how you can best support them. But another thing I would actually just, I guess I can share the resources. There are different websites and articles to read that usually give some pretty good tips of how best to support families. They might give like, what are 3 things you could do? What are types of books? So what's the best YouTube videos to watch? There are a lot of resources out there. Again, it's just so much. I think it's easy to get overwhelmed. So just kind of pare down some of that information and share with them. I think that'd be helpful.
Awesome. That's really helpful. Thank you.
Mhm.